We have now with us Manmohan Bahadur, retired Air Vice Marshal of the Indian Air Force, and Brigadier Anil Sharma, retired, both joining in for some perspective. Sir, thank you very much for being with us. AVM Bahadur, if I could come to you first, sir. How should we look at this? Because this is a simultaneous attack, and as sources have confirmed now, 45 drones across our entire western border. I believe it's the S-400 air defense systems that have, come really handy and have held us in good stead. But your thoughts on what's transpired over the last few hours?
Good morning and Jai Hind to all your viewers. It's like this. 45, I think, would be a small number, considering the type of firepower we put up and we saw on television last night. And when we're talking of the whole border, from Jammu and Kashmir down to Punjab. And it's just not the S-400. We must understand that S-400 is one part of the Integrated Air Command and Control System, IACCS, of the Indian Air Force, in which all inputs of radars, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Civil are taken into that IACCS. All the firepower, the missile systems, they are integrated with that. The whole picture is available to the fighter controllers. And on that, depending on from where the threat is coming, the ideal weapon to engage that threat is given the orders to engage. So it's an IACCS that goes on. S-400 has been in the news, and rightly so. But please do remember, we have got our Indra radars all over. We have got the Israeli Spider system. We have got, and with their own integral radars, and also the Russian radars, which the Indian Air Force and the Indian Army also have. But it's all integrated. And what we saw yesterday evening and night, was a very good demonstration of the good integration that we have done to all our assets. It is not that the Army was firing on its own and the Air Force was firing on its own what threat perception. No, it was one single one that happened. So that's a good show. Hereafter, I think we can expect a little lull, because that's what geopolitically, with the type of pressures that would be coming, and the Pakistani domestic audience will be subdued for a while, I think we should expect a lull.
Right. Expect a lull, and I think absolutely. Air Marshal Bahadur, would you see this as what happens next? I mean, if I were to ask you as a military man, what is your sense? Is this, in a way, escalating to de-escalate? Or, or this is... The bigger risk is this kind of goes out of control, because beyond a point, we don't know what Pakistan will do, and then you have to respond, and then it kind of goes up the escalation ladder. So I'm just trying to understand, in your opinion, you said, well, expect a lull for now, but this situation lingers on for some more time?
Yes, we will be on stand too, as they say, for the next few days. We'll be getting our stocks up. The surveillance would continue without a break, despite all what the other side would say. Our defenses would be strengthened. Now, behind us, in the background, is diplomacy carrying on. Yeah. We have to understand that one is, what is the political aim right now for us? Our political aim is to convey to the other side that enough is enough. On the Pakistani side, the issue that happened yesterday was that we responded to their attack the previous night by sending in our Harop and Harpi drones. And that was in full visibility of the Pakistani public. That's what would have pushed the Pakistani administration to assuage, their domestic opinion. That having happened last night, I personally feel Asim Munir will call it a day from his side. What plans we have, I don't think we would like to escalate, provided the other side gives reasonable assurance. Musharraf did that earlier, which lasted a few years. But I'm quite sure our political establishment right now is quite firm in knowing what it wants from the other side to call it a day.
All right, Air Marshal Bahadur, thanks a lot for joining in, sir. I wanted to ask you about, what prompted Pakistan's military to respond, given their comparatively very, very limited capabilities. Do you believe they're counting on some external support from any ally?
You see, their big backer, of course, besides China, is Turkey. We do not know what all items or equipment would have come their way. But it's not easy to get newly inducted equipment quickly, synchronized with what you already have. Having said that, let's remember that we have a healthy respect for any adversary, whether it be Pakistan or China. Okay, they have got forces, they have got capability, we've got much more. We have got manpower that is well trained, but we have a healthy respect for them. So, and that's what should be of a good fighting element. Never underestimate your adversary. Be one step ahead of him. So, does it have enough equipment? I personally feel it has to carry on for a few more days, but then its economy and the political and diplomatic pressure would come. I don't think I think they have achieved what they wanted to, as I said earlier, of telling their public that, listen, we also went in. You saw Indian drones coming in, we also gone in. It's quits. But it's quits for them, but we have to accept whether that is sufficient for us.
Sir, very, very well explained. And now we really hope you're right that finally better sense prevails on the Pakistani side and they've achieved their local narrative if that's what they were trying to settle. But yes, we don't know. We don't know the extent of our response. There's a lot of unconfirmed reports, which we are not carrying as a network. Nothing unless it's official from either the Army, the Air Force or the Ministry of Defense. Brigadier Sharma is...
May I just add one line? I mean,
yes, sir.
Yeah, you will keep this artillery exchanges along the border.
Yes.
I'm afraid would continue to happen because actually it's become a new normal sort of a thing.
Absolutely.
But it's the bigger things, different things, that count.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's exactly what I was going to, ask Brigadier Sharma about. Sir, many thanks for joining us on the program today. On this very heavy shelling that we are seeing all across the LOC and, all the border areas, Poonch, Rajouri, we're getting those visuals, getting those inputs. Do you expect anything bigger, a bigger Pakistani army offensive on ground? Brigadier Sharma?
Thank you, Jai Hind, to all of you.
Jai Hind, sir.
Yes, this is as AVM Bahadur has also flagged, that this is the main decision point that the last night we saw the fifth round of escalation ladder, which was led by us. Now today daytime, what the Pakistanis do, because escalation ladder is actually India is using to deter Pakistan at some stage or other, because that is the objective, military objective, and that is also the political objective. Now, whether what has happened last night will deter Pakistan or not, has the geopolitical and politico-military message gone very strongly into them or not? Now, this is a point. The LOC is alive. The IB is also, the firing is taking place across IB. Now, this shift itself shows a level of escalation. And as AVM has pointed out earlier, the bigger weapons, when they start coming into play, especially the missiles, the surface-to-surface missiles and so on, that is the next level of escalation. So I hope Pakistan will refrain from doing that. And I would also like to add one very important input in last night's action, that almost 75 to 80% drones, as per the input available to me, were hard killed by our air defense system. And that shows that our command and control system has worked perfectly. Now, and remaining were soft kills, which that means they got crashed on, they got jammed out and so on. Now, the point in this is, which probably needs to be looked at is, I believe that number of drones, because drones are coming from bases across from quite a distance. Now,
yes.
When they enter our territory, their piloting is being taken on locally from elements inside our country. Now,
Yes.
that is a worrisome aspect. I'm sure the government and our internal security agencies are looking at it to neutralize them. Now, otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to come in such large numbers. But thanks to our air defense system, that we have been able to neutralize them very effectively.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. In fact, salute to our brave hearts, our soldiers, I mean, all our personnel manning those air defense systems. Air Marshal Bahadur, back to that point on potential escalation that we should be prepared for. Like Brigadier Sharma said, that if now Pakistani misadventures move on to surface missiles, then it could be the next layer of escalation. How would you rate our preparedness? And what would you anticipate, if Pakistan is quote unquote not done yet?
No. I mean, they'll be fools to escalate it to surface missile exchange. They know our capabilities. Theirs is a small country. We are a vast country with a deep hinterland. So it's not easy to take a decision to say, okay, let's lob a few surface missiles. I don't think that is going to happen. Minor skirmishes would continue because that's what has been happening. As I said, that's unfortunately become the new normal. But if they were to escalate, we are ready. We have our air defense, which we saw partly its action yesterday. We've got much more up our sleeves as far as the anti-ballistic missile defense or taking them out is concerned. And we, of course, have our own, BrahMos, Prithvis, and other missiles. But I don't think we should be, adding fuel to fire at this stage. I don't think they would take this step. They would be big fools if they do that. Just remember one thing, they try to be irrational, but actually they are rational. So they play on their supposed irrationality to tell the world, hey, listen, come tell the Indians to pipe down because we are irrational people. But at the end of it, they are rational actors, and and people say the nuclear thing will come into effect. No. That will not happen because there is rationality at play when you're talking of war and when you're talking of leadership.
Okay, all right. It's such a helpful perspective there, Air Marshal Bahadur and Brigadier Sharma. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. Good perspective from both of you, and I hope we can come back to you for more as this story progresses, because I think, as both of you said, this is not done yet. We will be on our guard. The forces will be on our guard, and we, of course, will continue to lean on your expertise in military matters. We'll take